iRacing. You wanted the best, you got them 4 abreast. Often imitated, never duplicated. The greatest show on dirt, the World of Outlaws.
This is the original eSport racing game. This is iRacing.
David Holland rolled his iRacing Formula 3 to a championship last season. Can history repeat itself? Well, we don't really know. His competition sure doesn't hope so. A target the size of Texas rests upon his gearbox. New teams, new competition loom large at the dawn of a new season. Sit down or stand up, we really don't care, and it doesn't matter, but you better get ready to watch round 1 of the Precision Racing League Formula 3 series, and you'll see it all live here on the Global SimRacing Channel and the iRacing Esports Network. Welcome aboard, everyone, this evening. In the booth with me, just like last season, he's back, my little brother Johnny Ambrose, and over there in the big chair, Mr. Joe Peak, twisting and tweaking the dials for us. The genius behind these cameras that you'll be seeing tonight on screen, well, that's the great Dougie Beard. We thank him for his expertise. John, it's the F3. It's you and me, and it's a trip to the UK to get us started this season here at Donington Park on the National Circuit. Tell us a little bit about it, buddy.
Like the Smothers Brothers, it's the Ambrose Brothers. That's right. By the way, Sean, can I get some tea and crumpets? We're in England, man. Come on, let's have some fun. That's right, we're here at Donington Park in England for tonight's first round of season 16 of the PRL Dallara F3. Boy, what a track they picked for the first one. Sean, as you said, bunch of new teams, bunch of new drivers, some names to get familiar with. This track, hey, 1.957 miles, 3.1 kilometers. I said it right before we went live. This is like the Martinsville, man, of F3, or really anything. This track was probably famed for its MotoGP back in the day. It's got 10 turns. This is going to be a 45-minute race. But to get a first glimpse of this track, or actually to get a good look at this track, let's jump aboard the GSRC Dallara F3.
Alright, we've got Amjad Yaman in the GSRC Formula Renault 2.0, so let's do a lap around Donington. Coming down to Redgate, this is one of the best passing opportunities you're going to get, so expect plenty of guys to try and attack here. This corner has a deceptively late entry though. Just clip it with a late apex and try to get on the power as soon as you know the car won't understeer off. Now we start to plunge downhill, and it's all about straightening out the craner curves as much as you can. Once you hit the bottom, hold to the left for the widest entry into the old hairpin. Some guys might try passes into here, but it's hard to get a clear shot of the inside. As you come off the corner, you'll be going under Starkey's Bridge and start to rise back uphill. Much like the old hairpin, McLean's requires you to hold left at the kink, but this time, the crest on the bend makes it hard to both spot and hit your apex. This mistake-inducing corner tends to set up some ambitious passes on the way up to Coppice, despite the short run. The crest right before the apex is going to make too wide situations tricky, and on top of that, this is really a double apex corner, which opens up in the latter half. On Starkey's Straight, keep to the left because the chicane goes the opposite way on the short version of the circuit. But be careful not to take too much of either curb because this low-slung Formula car does not play nice with them. However, as you come to the line, you've now finished the lap around Donington.
You know, John, I think we need to stop letting Amjad take the car off the trailer for us because, well, he dumped it right into the middle of, the garage area there. And, well, we had to pull out the Formula Renault 2.0. Still quite legendary here on the iRacing service, but it's what we got, and that's what was in the lap guide. Listen, folks, we got a new sponsor this evening, and NinjaTrader.com has come on board. And are you ready to compete against the financial markets? Supporting over 60,000 users across the globe, NinjaTrader provides award-winning trading software and brokerage services. NinjaTrader is always free to use for advanced charting, backtesting, and trade simulation. Visit NinjaTrader.com to get started with a risk-free trading simulator and start tracking your performance. Folks, visit NinjaTrader.com and check them out. Give them a look and sign up if that interests you and you like to play the market a little bit. Certainly a good way to make money. Why don't we talk about the championship and how everything ended last season? I kind of gave it away in the intro. If you've been listening since then, yeah, David Holland won this thing last season. It was close, very close. Michael Overbay nipping at his heels for the entire season. And Mike finished his second for his effort. Andres Espinosa took third. Francisco Montini came out of fifth to finish fourth. And Nick Dell came out of sixth to finish fifth. So that's how the points shook out. It really was actually pretty tight at the top. It came down to the last few races of the season. This season proves to be even better, folks. So stick with us. Let's look and see how the teams finish, because this is going to shake up a bit this season. Teams, we've got some new teams. Some teams have changed, but Leadfoot, led by Gritzko Holland and Lyndon Swaby. Alpine Stars, Kia Desik Racing, they'll finish second with Overbay, Padavani, Old Glitter Pants, and Jose Malbrin. Crash for Cash, the Samurai, Takeshi Kita leading that team with McLaughlin and Wildridge, and Takeshi not here. 90's registered, but he's not here, unfortunately. Ford Bite Racing, Zegers, Sumner, Webb. They fought to the bitter end to try and overtake Crash for Cash. They couldn't get it done. They did see in their mirror, though, and coming up in that last race, Espinosa and Steffi with a good result. They wind up finishing fifth in the team championship. Now, John, we're here on the iRacing Esports Network, and we're thankful to be here. So is the Precision Racing League. We've got a lot of viewers that probably haven't seen this before. Now, if you're on IESN for the first time, the button below says subscribe, and it's glowing red. Folks, hit that. Give them a sub. When you get a chance, go on over to the Global SimRacing Channel. Give us a sub, too. We love those. John, why don't you tell the folks what we're doing and how we do it here in the Precision Racing League Formula 3 Series?
You know, I don't know how we do it, Sean. You talked about going from 6th to 5th and from 5th to 4th. I'm so confused. Hey, real quick, what is 36 plus 14?
That would be, John, why? That would be 50.
That's right,
please.
50. 50. That's how old Sean turned yesterday, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Happy belated birthday to you, brother. Let's talk about these cars here. This is round 1 of 10. These guys and gals, if there are any, I don't think there are, but these guys will go around 10 circuits this season. This is the first one. They will have the availability of a drop, meaning if they have a bad race or they don't show up, they can use that event as their drop. The cars, as we talked about earlier, are the Dallara F3s. Setups, they're open. And man, I can tell you from firsthand, you can do a slew of things to get a preferential favorite or whatever to your driving style and your like. Race distance 45 minutes. These guys will have to pit, and it's not because the fuel tanks are too small. It's because the league has chosen to put just a limited amount of fuel to build up that excitement and that strategy. Incident cap 20. What does that mean, Sean? That means if they go off the track, if they drop a tire outside of the curb and in the S's, they're going to get a 1 mark. If they hit a car, they could get up to a 4 mark. This season, however, they have a new thing they instituted. They get 1 bonus point for grabbing the pole, for the fastest lap, for also leading a lap, and if you have 3 or less incidents. So that's pretty cool, Sean. That's going to be interesting coming out of the points.
All right, John. So since we wrapped up last season, you started driving with a couple of these guys and the GTEs and the trucks, and I think you're going to do a little bit of cup racing with some of them. But who you got your eyes on this season here in the F3 Championship?
Wow, for the championship, honestly, I'm not going to pick that. This is too early. Unless I call Al Gore or something. But I'm guessing that a lot of these guys learned a bunch last year, especially the off season. Although it was only 3 weeks.
Right.
But something interesting, Sean, is that this is the brand new version 7 tire model on this hand-cooked tire that came out last week. So in testing and working on setups, we have seen this tire change its dynamics a little bit from last season. So tonight's going to be a good read on how this season's going to shake out. And for this race, I think if you can finish, you'll be in good shape.
Yeah, now Glitter Pants is at the top of the qualifying board right now. It's actually kind of warm out today. It's a clear day, but it's about 91 degrees on track right now, and I expect that's probably going to go up a little bit. We talked about this before we went on the air, John, and you just mentioned it, this Martinsville of road courses, if you will. The passing opportunities are going to be slim to none. I mean, you're going to get passing opportunities down into Redgate, turn 1, out of Coppice, down into that Roberts Goddard chicane there on your run to the finish line. But aside from that, it's going to be, you're certainly not going to pull it off in the Craner curves or down in the old hairpin, and maybe you'll get a shot at it in Starkey's Bridge, but you're going through there so fast. I just don't know if we're going to see a lot there on the back part of the course. What do you think?
Yeah, the best shots really are to get a draft going down Starkey straightaway and outbraking that person in the S's. Unfortunately, though, what that means is the other person can do the crossover because they have the exit speed as the other person had the inside and had to brake sooner. So, the old hairpin is probably we're going to see the most passing there, and that's just because cars are going to go off the track.
Right.
That is a high-speed right-hander, Sean, and it's a little bit off camber, and so I would expect that's probably we're going to see passing tonight.
Yeah, and in practice, we certainly saw our fill of cars not making it around this track. This is a tricky combo. It's going to be fun. There's only a couple minutes left in qualifying. Patafani still holding on top. Nathan Lewis, a name that a little new to us, but I'll tell you what, I don't think he's new to iRacing with a 6,300 I rating. Dude from New York looks like he might have a little something for these boys this season. Abner Acosta in the top 5 right now. Francisco Montini and Michael Overbay, our little buddy Mike, is sitting at their P5 right now. So excited to get this one kicked off, John. And hey, just a quick shout out to our friends and fans of Riverhead Raceway, as we got a little shout out to them. I think we've got a couple watching this evening, John. I kind of rode the coattails of our father and let them all know we'd be commentating. Junior, yes, Junior Ambrose. The top 5 right now, just within a tenth of a second, John. When we were watching practice, it was David Holland that was at the top of the board. You think maybe he's sandbagging just a bit right now?
No, I don't think he's sandbagging. I think it's just so hard to get a good lap with so many cars on this small track. And hey, listen, a lot of these new guys, they spent a lot of time practicing for this first event. It's going to be until we get to the second and third events to see who kind of gets that cream coming to the top.
John, what did I just do there? You see what I did there, right?
Yeah.
David Holland takes the pole.
Yeah.
He's listening to the broadcast. Come on, Dave. That's funny. And Jefferson's still out on the track here. He's still got a shot at it. David shut it down. He's good. 12 seconds to go. Let's see what Jefferson Padavani's got. Old Glitter Pants coming on in. And the car in front of him just pulls out of the way. Thank you very much. Padavani to the line. Not as quick as one, John, and that's not going to be good enough to take the pole. In fact, he's the last guy to get across the line there, and everybody in front of him on track still has a shot at it. Let's see who's still out there. A bunch of guys. Let's see. Coming around now on Wong Taylor. We're going to go with Wong, unless he corrects us. Overbay, here comes Mike. He's going to come across with a good one. That was not his best, but still not a bad lap.
Yeah, it looks like Wong flew it across the flag stand there.
Yeah.
Look, it's Kevin Santana. Let's see, he comes up with a P8.
Thurman's in. He shuts down his final lap at it. 30 seconds left here for anybody on track to get to the line. Glitter Pants with one final run, and that's not good enough. John, I think, is that everybody? I think so. It is. Why don't we go ahead and go to the starting grid and get that done here again. NinjaTrader, our new sponsor this season. Here's your starting grid. David Holland takes the pole there with just seconds to go. Glitter Pants will start second. Jefferson Padavani. Row 2 going to be Nathan Lewis with us this season. He'll start third. Abner Acosta, the GTE wheelman here in the F3. He'll start P4. Row 3 going to be rounded out by Raymond Day and Francisco Montini. Row 4, Michael Overbay and Kevin Santana in the familiar 666. Row 5, Daniel Zegers and Nick Dell going to start 10th in this one, John.
Alrighty, Sean. In 11th, in row 6, we've got Rod Clenard, the Texas driver, new driver this year. Outside of him in 12th, David Cristelli. Wong Taylor in 13th in row 7. Outside of him is Andre Espinoza, Lyndon Swaby, and Owen McLaughlin. Outside of him, yeah, Kyle Streichartz in 9th. Outside of him, Christopher Richards, Armando Edwards, and Jay Steffi rounding out the 20th position.
John, it's going to be the Northwest driver in the number 69, Brett Thurman there in row 11. Sean Duhamel will start 22nd. I got it. I nailed it. Row 12, Aaron Webb. Jose Malbron in the 187. Row 13, Andy Spicer. Charles Sumner in the number 98. Row 14, Hugo Galaz. Sebastian Maciera is with us in the number 35. Row 15, David Hebert, Donald Olson, John. We got to get through this quick. And row 16 going to be Daniel Barnett, David Blackwood, Matt Gunderson, and Tyler Gore. Here we go, John. The lights are up. I think it's... No, we got time. I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. We'll try not to... Nah.
Premature... Well, we'll
start. Yes. Premature start. Yes, we'll go with that. John, I'm excited.
Here
the drivers are. I think we got everybody on the grid. Here we go. Waiting for the lights to come up. And the lights are up. Green. And we're mean green and underway here at Donington Park in the UK. We've already got cars off at the back. Big junk in the back. We'll stay up front with the battle. And immediately, look who gets to the front. Jefferson Padavani with a rocket start there. Leaves Abner Acosta in the dust behind him. Francisco Montini, David Holland fighting hard. The front two, though, open up a little bit of space here, heading down into Redgate. John, an exciting start there. Lots going on in the back. We'll have to get back to that. But they've already made their way to McLean's. It'll be Coppice and then back to the start-finish line. Incredibly fast laps here.
Oh, we've got a car.
Geez.
3, 4 cars around.
Montini.
Right there at McLean's.
Yep, Montini was in that. So was Nick Delp. Oh,
We'll
boy.
have to
What
hold
a,
it. John, let's see if we can get a lap here in. Hopefully these guys get single file here. Boy, they're
Yeah,
3,
well-
4 wide down the back straightaway.
Padavani gets across the line, but everybody else, John, trying to get this sorted out behind them. They've got a gaggle there that is with Santana, Zegers, but even further back, you've got Cristelli. He's got a horde of cars behind him. And Nathan Lewis, Daniel Zegers fighting up there. It's just a madhouse right now here at Donington.
You know, we talked about it just right before the start, Sean. We got some of these new drivers and not really probably used to that standing start and that clutch response. And we saw it happen there.
Yeah, we had spinning tires indeed. Espinoza making a move on Zegers. Little movement back there. And again, that group, John, I'd say about 6th on back. Very, very tight still. The leaders, though, are stepping away just a bit from David Holland. I think Holland's got him in his sights, though. I think David's fine here.
Yeah, unfortunately from Raymond Day, you know, obviously he's the CEO of NinjaTrader, caught up in that start there on the grid. He's out there just riding around with no rear spoiler, and he needs it. He needs it.
He's spinning again. Unfortunately, rear spoiler gone, the front spoiler all messed up, and yeah, John, he's already spun it. Now we'll be looking again in the pits. Again, this group back here, 7th on back, is just nuts right now. Espinoza holding off the charges. Zegers, Clenard, Edwards, McLaughlin, Lyndon Swabiar, and Brett Thurman, Kyle Strikars, and Wong Taylor.
Sean, get the rum and let's have some fun. It's Lyndon Swaby on the track.
The captain is in the house. I hope Lyndon winds up with a better result tonight than he did in the GT race the other night. He ran into a teammate of his, who remain nameless right now. Look and see who that was that spun back there. David Holland, Padavani gets a fast lap, and David Holland answers with an even faster lap. Holland starting to close, maybe just a little bit, still about a second back.
Sean, we haven't talked about it, but Michael Overbay, what an unfortunate first lap for him. He's marred down in 24th. Obviously had a great qualifying effort. He was strong in practice. His car looks pretty clean, though, but he's got some serious ground to make up. He's 25 seconds behind the leader.
Oh, and Kyle's around, John. The New Yorker, the 07 is around. He's dropping like a rock through the field. I believe he had a little bit of damage from the early on there as well. No, maybe not. The car doesn't look bad. I think he just got loose there. But, man, everybody, he is just dropped to the back of the field immediately.
Yeah, we see a car here caught up with the old hairpin. Just misfortune of getting those tires off into the grass, and you just kind of have to mow it out.
I believe you're doing some mowing today. I heard a tractor. I don't know. That's all I heard. So, John, this race all of a sudden is broken up into basically battles of 3. We've got the top 3. We've got 7th through 9th. We've got 11th through 13th there. And then you go back to 17. That's where the action's happening right now. Malbrand fighting with David Hebert.
Nicholas Delp found his way off into the old hairpin. Listen, we can keep the camera.
Contact between both of them. Malbrand off. Hebert off. Trying to get back on. Both cars damaged. John, they were fighting in a spot where we said probably wouldn't be a good idea. They were right there coming out of the old hairpin. You thought that might be a passing opportunity, and they just got into each other. Here we go on the replay from above. Did they see each other, John?
Well, I don't know if they saw each other, but if either one of them had a spotter pack going, someone had to have said inside. Yeah, I don't think I did, but the old hairpin, you cannot pass there. You don't even want to pass there. You're hoping that that car sticks when you go through there when you're solo. So that's a place you don't want to pass.
Hey, why don't we head back up front? Oh, no!
Oh, second place just went
Acosta.
off.
Yeah, Acosta's off, and he's losing all kinds of spots. I wanted to go there because Holland was closing right up on the wing. Holland's moved up to P2 and is screamed away. Acosta somehow manages to hold on to P3. Now he's got Santana up his gearbox. And Santana's going to step out, try to make the pass here, John. And he gets it done.
Yeah, we didn't
No,
talk.
I'm sorry, he doesn't. Acosta fights back and gets some spot. I'm trying to see if Abner picked up any damage. I don't think he did.
No, but I tell you what, plants, glitter pants is tearing up the plants with that left rear tire, getting it out on the grass. So he's got to be careful. He's going to find Holland coming up on the back of him real quick.
Now, you talked about Overbay before. I want to go back to the replay in a moment, but right now he's in the fight of his. He's in a great fight here with Overbay. Both certainly not in positions they want to be in right now, but look at him fighting side by side. Looks like Montini's going to get the best of that.
Yeah,
Overbay going to
Montini
continue
really.
to fight him.
Yeah, he's really holding Overbay up here. Let's see if he can do it coming out of,
Look at behind him.
Compass.
Jeez. Kyle and Hugo Galaz. Kyle gets the position.
Oh, and he goes wide out in the grass.
Jeez. Something's off with Mike's car, John. It just doesn't seem right.
He struggled being, really tight, major understeer in that corner there. That's a high-speed right-hander, and it is off camber, so you've got to downshift and let that thing rotate just right. And I noticed him struggling in practice, so hopefully he doesn't have any damage from that off incident. I don't think he does.
We're going to have a battle for the lead here any second. Well, we got a battle for the lead right now. We got traffic right in front of Jefferson Padavani and David Holland. Holland steps to the inside. Traffic right in front of him. Going to stay to the side and let them fight.
Oh!
I don't think that's the entry that David wanted there. He'll take it. Didn't get off track. I don't know how he held on to that thing.
Now, you talked about the old hairpin. You can't pass there, but you can set up that driver in front of you to pass him coming out. Let's see if David does that here. We're coming down through the curves, going into the old hairpin right here. David's got a great line. He's got a great run. There it is, Sean.
Oh,
it's a drag race up to the hill.
Yeah, David's got the inside. Rear end slides out a little bit, but he's going to get it, John. It's a drag race. Back up the hill. Give it to David Holland in the lead.
And a crossover.
Glitter pants right there. Acosta just foaming at the mouth right now, looking for his slice of pie here.
All right, we talked about this pass here. Watch the crossover here, Sean. From Acosta.
He pulls the crossover. Wow. Now it's Acosta trying to go to the front. Glitter pants not giving him a whole lot of room, but I think Abner's going to get this, and they almost come wheel to wheel.
Guess what, Sean? These three fighting are causing the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th place runners to get up there.
Mm-hmm. I see Kevin Santana back there moving.
Padavani's off.
Glitter pants is off, and here comes Santana. Oh, boy, Holland and Acosta go at it now. Holland wants that spot back, John.
Yeah, he wants that clean air. He may have a shot here, but obviously Acosta has the momentum line. If he stays on the track.
Abner's around. I saw those two left sides dip off a bit high center on those rumble strips, John. He's still trying to get going. Oh, my, Acosta all the way down to P13. P14, call it now.
Sean, we're only 9-10 minutes into this race. And
are you kidding me?
So my fear is, okay, here's my fear. Some of these drivers are pushing the limit on incident points.
Yeah, and you know what? We may see some disappear into the ether before this one at this rate, especially, John, as you said, we're just now 10.5 minutes into this race, and it's been just incredible. Zegers, Espinoza back there fighting. That's a side-by-side one again, John. Oh boy, watch out. And Zegers is, no, Espinoza's off, comes back on the track, right there in front of Clenard.
Yeah,
Wow, that was close.
Rod Kennard, he's up 3 spots here, currently in 8th position. Having a great night for his kind of. Oh, and they wreck in front of him.
Oh boy. Yeah, Espinoza gets caught up into that. I think it was Brett Thurman he ran into, wasn't it, John? Let's go to the replay here. Take a look at it. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. This is the first time we can catch our breath for a replay here.
Oh, no, it's the 22. Well, that's a familiar number. It was the 22 Andy Spicer that started with. Andy started getting loose on board with Espinoza and nowhere to go. He just smacks him right in the side pod. Heavy damage to the front end of that machine. Spicer actually able to keep it going, though, John.
Yeah, right into the GSRC logo on the side pod there.
Yeah. And Spicer actually just got away with another one there as he almost got hit by Owen McLaughlin. McLaughlin had to really, really stomp on the binders there. Able to save it.
Boy, the battles, Sean, from 7th to about 11th are just incredible. We got Lyndon Swaby coming up on his teammate, Rod Clenard, coming down the back stretch. Got that high slipstream, getting ready for the S's here. Oh, they have a slow car on the inside. This will hurt Rod.
Well, you said it really, you throw a blanket over that line of cars there, John. Clenard gets away, but back behind him, Swaby, Edwards, Wong Taylor, Abner, Acosta, Abner. That's where he fell back to, still fighting to get back up here. Thurman, McLaughlin. You go deep in the field, Jose Malburn just got by Overbay. Overbay kept the car on track, John, and he's still struggling with it.
Yeah, Michael having a tough night.
Yeah.
You know, he was hot on the points last year, and the last race kind of bit him, and that was the kind of turning point for his season. And it looks like the start of this season is not turning out too well for him.
Coming around once again, it's David Holland, John, and he's got the lead of this race, not by a little, but by a lot now. Almost 4 seconds for Holland. Letting Padavani, Santana back there fight it out. Holland, not a worry in the world right now. He's clear ahead, clear behind.
You know, if I can ask the director, if we can keep the camera on David Holland just for a second. It only takes, 58 seconds to get around this track. But Sean, I want you to watch him as he comes across the start-finish line and cuts across the pit road exit. And I want to bring this up for a reason when we see it here.
All right, Holland wheeling it, making his way back around the track here. And honestly, John, he had just a little bit of fight to get there, but getting it sorted out now, coming into Roberts, through Goddard's.
Okay, watch him there. He's coming across the start-finish line here in about 100 feet. And he's going to go over to the pit road exit right there. That is where it's going to be a problem when these guys start to pit and these people are leaving pit road. Yeah. So hopefully that doesn't cause a crash. If not, those guys will have to sit there on pit road waiting for cars to go by.
Yeah, one of the most dangerous pit exits in all of iRacing on this service. Just spills you right out onto the track. Look at this battle. Those Zegers, Cristelli, they've been hooked up for a while, still going at it here. This is a battle for P5. Look at those lap times. You see Zegers right now has the advantage, but Cristelli seems to have gotten up on his horse. He's up 6 spots, John. He's moving through the field pretty well.
Yeah, David was one of those drivers that really seemed to get comfortable in this car towards the end of the season last year. I keep saying last season, considering it was only 3 weeks ago. But he is putting on a great performance, up 6 spots.
Abner picks up another spot here as he continues to claw his way back. We know Abner's fast. Got another person back off in the dust back there. It's okay. They didn't get anybody. Costa going for another spot here. Gonna overtake Armando Edwards. And that'll get him into P9. Armando's having a great race himself, John. He's up 9 spots. And they actually still continue to battle. Armando not ready to give that up, actually. I think he has to. Because Acosta gets around. Linden, Swaby in front of him. Arr. But by the way, John, it is National Talk Like a Pirate Day. If everybody's wondering why, it's kind of twofold with Linden. We did actually confirm he is from
He's
the Caribbean.
Jamaican.
He is Jamaican. Yes, that is correct. and believes he may be of pirate descent. So there we go.
Jack Sparrow was his great uncle.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about that. We'll try and confirm that later. All right. Let's take it back up front for a minute because, there actually still is a very solid battle. P2 back to P4. You got Padavani, Santana, and Nathan Lewis. You got to remember, Kevin Santana here is really driven up through this field by himself. He's picked up 5 spots. He's got Padavani in front of him. Padavani can be prone to the mistake every now and then, and I wonder if Kevin here has the legs to get to him. He continues to close that down. In fact, the last lap, they were separated by about 2/10. Santana being the faster of the two. So here we go. The race is on.
Sean, I know there's races going on throughout the whole field, but we also have to keep in mind David Holland is turning some blistering laps in the 59s, whereas everyone else is in the 1 minutes, but he's catching traffic. This is a small track, so traffic will play a huge part of his maneuverability through those slower cars.
And we got a car exiting the pits now. It's Jay Steffi actually coming back out. Johnny gets his pit stop in, coming to the exit, and there are cars on the front straightaway. He's going to spill right out of the traffic and found an opening to get in. Great job by Jay Steffi. Comes right out in front of Daniel Zegers and right behind David Blackwood.
Remember as kids, we used to jump off the pier into the water and we used to close our eyes and hold our breath. That's exactly what you're doing when you're leaving pit road here.
That's a good one, yeah. Oh, hey, go to P10. Armando Edwards being hounded here by Wong Taylor. And honestly, I thought Wong had him, and then all of a sudden that car got a little slidey on him. But he has still got what appears to be the pace to catch Edwards there on that last lap. We're separated by 4/10. Wong Taylor on the rise here.
Well, look at Abner Acosta, Sean. He's on the back of Lyndon Swaby. Arr. I mean, he is putting the pressure on Lyndon right now, going down the front straightaway.
Yeah, again, this is a recovery drive for Acosta right now. After trouble a little while ago, had a great qualifying effort. Up now to P9. Lyndon Swaby stands in his way. We've got Cristelli, Clenard in front of them. They're fighting side by side. No, I'm sorry. That was somebody else. I missed that.
That was Day, his teammate.
Getting through the traffic that was
close, and there goes Abner.
Great pass by Abner. He took advantage of Lyndon there having to back off and watch the lap traffic.
Yeah, that was Lyndon's teammate that he had to slow down for.
Clenard. They also come up on some traffic, and it doesn't result in an overtake, but man, Clenard is all over him. I hate to jump around like we've been doing, but there's been just so much action throughout this field. We had early trouble on track. We didn't even get to any of those replays, but that's okay. Again, the action on track during this race, with only 25 minutes to go now, has been intense.
And with that, we'll go to a break.
Yeah, opportune time to go to a break. But this battle right here continues, man. It's as the front starts to spread out just a bit, you got Cristelli being followed by Clenard. Cristelli, not a bad run for himself. The 009, John, Secret Agent 009 is up to P6, started 12th in this field. Looks like Overbay back there has come in for his pit stop finally. Maybe he'll be able to get that car sorted out.
Let's keep an eye on this because he's got heavy traffic behind him. Let's see how he gets out of the pits.
Oh, yep, Santana's in. Got to pull in, actually, right behind Mike Overbay. You see the damage on the front wing. It pops out there on Overbay's car. Overbay's out. Santana screaming away, wheels spinning. They're both going to spill out in this mess as they all come down the front straightaway. Ooh, Overbay gets lucky with that one. Is Santana going to get his lucky? He does. So we've seen 3 drivers pit. We've seen them all get out just in the right spot. Francisco Montini has brought his Formula 3 down the pit lane now.
Let's go to 5 and 6. Clenard and David Cristelli. They're still battling.
They sure are. They sure are, John. And I like what I'm seeing here. Clenard actually running a little bit different line, trying to find an opportunity here to get around Cristelli.
I was fortunate to see Rod run when my daughter raced at the local track there in Denton, Texas. And I know Rod used to run a shifter kart. I don't know. And he's in the pits right now.
He is. Padavani, Nathan Lewis all come in, John. So we're getting down to about 23 minutes to go. It looks like many drivers have decided it's time. Let's get in here. Let's get this taken care of. Looks like Padavani's coming out. We're going to come out right into traffic. His teammate goes by him. He's going to get it clean. Santana, though, comes out of the battle. Right there with Nathan Lewis. That was Lewis that actually came out in front of Santana. My bad. And he's holding Santana up. Santana tries to get around. I'm sorry, Santana did get around. And Nathan, it looked like, had a run on him. Had my cars mixed up there, John.
Sort of like mom mixing us up with all the other brothers.
Right. Running through the whole list, right? All 7 of it. Looks like Zegers has come in. That's one of our leaders. Daniel Zegers is in.
Abner Acosta, he's up to 3rd right now. Obviously, he has not pitted, nor has the leader, David Holland. So these top 5 cars have not pitted yet, Sean.
And without any real traffic in front of David, I mean, he can really run this thing out, can he? I mean,
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, he's got enough of a gap on the rest of the field at this point. Bowie time's looking about 22 to 23 seconds, and he's 22 and a half seconds up on Cristelli, and he needs to pit as well. So the top 3 still trying to get it sorted out.
So when we went away or not went away, but when Rod Clenard pitted, he was battling with David Cristelli, who currently is in 2nd right now. It'd be interesting to see where David comes out in relation to Rod when he pits. Rod had a 23.5 complete Delta pit stop there.
Yeah, and David just let Acosta get by. Cristelli going to bring that car in, John. Good call. So we'll be looking to see where Clenard gets. Clenard finds himself getting through traffic right now. In a bit of a battle there with Daniel Zegers right in front of him. Clenard coming down the front straight. Cristelli pulling out. Rob's going to get by. No problem at all. In fact, Cristelli back there, John, looked like he had to hold up just a bit getting out.
Yeah, and that is the difference right there on track, because the pit times were within 0.4 of each other. That's the difference on track that you see when Cristelli was out there still fighting with traffic.
And our leader, David Holland, has brought it down, John. 24 laps on that stint, 20 minutes to go. Holland's in, and he's away. That was not a long stop at all. 7 seconds in the box.
Got 2 wide coming down the straightaway here, right behind them.
Yeah, that's Raymond Day and Daniel Barnett. And that is Abner Acosta comes in. We continue to see the leaders make their way down. In fact, Abner's on his way out. Swaby's back there. He's coming down the pit lane. Oh, boy, that was close for Abner. That was Clenard and Zegers. They came right by him. They almost made wheel-to-wheel contact. Zegers right now has the advantage here. I almost think Zegers has got a little bit of damage on the right front wing. That wing doesn't look exactly right. Don't think it's going to affect him too much. In fact, he's got great pace right now. Kyle just in front of him.
Kyle having a great run this season.
Yeah.
7th.
That's 10 spots for him. But boy, I'll tell you what, Zegers looks like he's busy. Wants to get around here quick.
This is the biggest shot you've got as far as slipstream, Sean. Here it goes on the inside, outbreaks him. Oh, and he goes. Who was that? Was that Day that had to abruptly brake?
Yeah, it was. Day just on the binders hard, almost lost the car completely. Look at this battle coming down the front stretch. Acosta, Acosta, Clenard. Here we go. Here's that replay, John.
Yeah, we talked about that slipstream going down the back straightaway, hard braking on the inside. You see Raymond Day there. Oh, man, I tell you what. Tomorrow, he needs to check out the stock symbol BH for brake hard because, man, that rose.
We had a car. There was a car off right there in the dirt. I didn't see it whiz. Yeah. Steffi's gotten out of the way, John. Let those guys get by. We still got, looks like a few cars settling their pit stops, but let's go to third. Nathan Lewis, Kevin Santana. Santana trying to get around the geodesic driver. That's Hugo Galaz back there behind him. He's in P19.
Yeah, Santana backs off here going through that hairpin, Sean. He's going to wait till he gets around this uphill, the McLean's off-camber right-hander, and see what he can do on the backstretch.
Nathan a little loose there, coming over the rumble strips.
Santana got a nice run through that corner. Let's see if he can catch up to him.
Well, 666 having a strong run, following a New York driver right now, Nathan Lewis. Lewis right where he started, John, back to P3. Hats off to Hugo Galaz, though, having a really good run behind them, a lap down.
I know it only shows that, well, it actually shows that he's off 3 positions, but Abner Acosta reminds me of a race I had last night. You fall to the back, and he's just made a hard charge to the front. He's up to 7th currently, and he's turning some pretty good laps. Obviously, David Holland's out there in clean air. He's still turning 59 threes, Sean.
Yeah, Abner having to fight through all the traffic. That car is going to get out of the way. Let Abner by, and Abner now P7, John. We saw him drop. I think it was his, did he get all the way down? I think it was P16, P17 maybe?
Well, I'm sure for Abner, it felt like the tail end. He's just driving the wheels off this Dallara.
There's a lot more in front of him, too. Just in front of him, you got Clenard. Zegers about 3.5 seconds ahead. I think Nick Delp has come in for a second stop because he was the car we saw off in the dirt just a moment ago. Jose Malbron has got his car around. John, these incident points we talked about earlier, we may be getting close here for some of these drivers.
Yeah, we have 16 minutes left to go, Sean. And I know that seems like a lot, but that's a lifetime in these cars and around this track. That's 16 full runs around this course.
There's the replay, Malburn right there. And boy, John, I think because he had the car next to him, I think he just missed his braking point. He jammed on him, and that sent the car around.
Yeah.
You know, Cristelli, Swaby still have a really, really good battle going. In fact, it was Cristelli that just got by Swaby a moment ago. And now Cristelli has opened that gap up to a second. But Cristelli, not done here. I'm seeing it. Okay, no, Swaby doesn't. That's not a position behind him. That's actually Francisco Montini. Of course, had trouble early. John still trying to rebound from it. He finds himself down in P19.
Yeah, I think Swaby right now has just got the Bob Marley music on and just kind of trying to get into rhythm and try to finish where he's at there.
I think he'd be happy with the P8 after not really, or a P9 after not nailing the qualifying tonight. But the top 3 in this race have really, really spread out. We've got the, looks like right now things have settled down maybe just a little bit. why don't we run through the top 10 here real quick as we finished. Looks like the cycle of pit stops have been completed. David Holland, of course, has been your leader for a long time now and continues to hold down the front spot in this field. Jefferson Padovani, the Brazilian glitter pants, is in second right now, really having a good race. Was an up and down season for him last season, but not tonight. He is running well. Nathan Lewis making his debut here. Nathan is hold on to that third spot, and he goes back to Kevin Santana behind him, who is having a great run tonight, up to P4 from where he started in P8. Daniel Zegers is in fifth, and right now he's got a little space, a little bit of buffer ahead of him and behind, because behind him it's Rob Clenard, the Texan, the shifter cart driver from Denton, Texas there, from the Denton Cartway. He finds himself in sixth. David Cristelli holding down seventh right now, John. Our friend Lyndon Swaby, he is sitting in eighth. Abner Acosta has... Oh, and he made a mistake. Acosta continues to try and come up here, John, and right now, well, he's got a ways to go to get to Linden, 7 seconds. McLaughlin rounds out the top 10. He is a full 6.5 seconds behind Acosta right now. Let's go to Swaby's incident there real quick, John.
Yeah, and I'm sure if Lyndon could hear us, he would tell you to get the camera off of him because, well, Lyndon's kind of a shy guy. Let's see what happened to him, Sean.
We're looking at Abner Acosta's incident. It wasn't Swaby. It was actually Abner. My bad. I didn't pick that out. I should have helped my director out there. But Abner spins around. Johnny, at least he did it clean. He didn't get it with anybody. But that recovery drive he was having, well, he's got to get back to work. With 12.5 minutes, he lost 3 spots real quickly there.
Yeah, we know that, Abner is pushing the limits on those incident points. We still have a little over 12 minutes left in this race, so he's got to be careful and see if he could just bring home a top 10 finish tonight.
Tell you what, all these spins, the pit stops have really, really spread things out on this track. Early on, we were just driving the director, just frantic. Poor Joe back there. I'm sweating probably as much as any of the drivers are right now. This has been a fun race.
Well, I was going to say he was pulling his hair out. But
yeah, well,
I don't think
Zegers, Clenard made a run at him there, John. Yeah, Clenard tries to make a pass, and it didn't work out, and it cost him. Yeah, here it is on the replay. You're gonna see Rob make a run here at Zegers. I think maybe he just drove it in a little too deep there. You know what? My bad, John. That was the lapped car. That was a lot closer than I thought. That was something we didn't talk about in the pre-race a whole lot. It was how much the lap traffic would play a factor in this race. We talked about it being the Martinsville road courses. Well, when you got a lot of teammates out here, a lot of familiar-looking cars, it sometimes is a little easy to get wrapped up in the battle and lose which one you're on.
Oh, man, as we see Clenard go through the hairpin there, and there's 2 cars, off in the grass.
Did you see who that was up in the grass? Was that Gunderson? It is Gunderson.
I think it was Gunderson in Overbay, Sean.
Yeah, well, it was. Overbay gets away, but Gunderson's still out there in the fescue. Now he finally gets back on track. Here's the replay.
Did they have fescue in England?
I believe they might, John. I believe they might. I think they grow it all over in Scotland, and then they bring it over to England.
Oh, yeah.
Lots of pastures in Scotland. So. Picking this up on the replay here, we'll see him run off. Right. Okay. Gunderson was in the dirt. Couple
we're not
of
doing.
cars. We're not nailing this, are we,
Yeah,
John?
we're not nailing the replays. We let's just go back to the live action here. Look at 10th and 11th, Owen McLaughlin and Wong Taylor. Wong, a new driver, man, he's having a great run this evening. He's only up 2 spots, but to still be out there and fighting for position is pretty impressive.
You know what's impressive, John? David Holland's run. He's dropped the rest of the field 16 plus seconds. And Padavani back there really all by himself. He does have Nathan Lewis in his mirror. They're separated by about 2 seconds. Holland's got traffic in front of him right now, but the leader of this race has had an outstanding run. He's going to have Kyle in front of him. Say Kyle's last name for me again, John.
Kyle.
Strike
what
cars,
position?
right? Is it strike cars?
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Strike cars. Strike cars. Yes, strike cars.
There he is. Started 17th, though. Kyle having a good race himself. You know, he sees the leader in his mirror. Hopefully this doesn't rattle him a little bit. The SRT driver runs it out a little bit wide, opens things up for Holland. He'll get by clean. Great job by Kyle. They're letting him by. Great job of keeping himself out of the grass.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I don't see anyone that has disconnected due to due to incident points.
Yeah, I keep looking for someone to fall off into the ether, and it hasn't happened yet, John. Right now, I think we've got maybe just a little bit less than 9 laps to go. Maybe about 8 to go when our leader, Holland, gets the line. Not far from it right now. After getting by Kyle Strykars, and back Kyle, the first car, leading all the lap cars right now. Owen McLaughlin still hanging on to the lead lap in P11.
Well, I'm looking at the on-screen telemetry of the last lap. I think that may be a mistake. I don't think Daniel Zegers did a 24-second lap. But I will tell you that Clenard and Zegers are running identical lap times, and the span between them are about 5 car lengths.
Separated by hundreds, mere hundreds, John. And well, with that many car lengths involved, it might be the traffic that really figures into this here. Clenard going to get by Donald Olson, and so does Zegers.
Really impressed with the slower cars moving out of the way for these. Oh, and we have Zegers kind of blinking there on screen.
I think maybe they better look into replacing the blinker fluid in that car, John.
Yeah, the Spitzer valve.
That's right.
With
maybe
gauze,
a bad Spitzer
with
valve.
gauze. Yeah,
Gauze would help that. Yes.
Happy Thursday, John Marine, who's on YouTube. And nice to hear one of my fellow Texans is in the race. That's right, John. We have all Texans in the booth here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Club Texas represented strong here in this race tonight. So
in England. Yes, we're in England.
Yes. They dropped a bunch of Texans out of the plane here onto the tarmac in England, and things just aren't right. This is crazy. Zegers is still struggling with his connection, John. That's a really inopportune time for this to happen in the closing minutes of the race.
Well, he was 2/10 faster, or almost 2/10 faster that lap versus Rod. So Rod's going to have to kind of turn up the wick here if he can, without jeopardizing on track, with staying on track.
John, how's Rob in that cart? Is he pretty good?
Well, it's Rod with a D, not Rob.
Rod, yes. We're on a mission from Rod.
I just know he ran shifter cars. I can't honestly speak on how well he did. I think he did fairly well, but it was always good to see him out there and with friends, and so I know he was there every week and every race we went to out of town. So
you never tangled it up with him then on track?
No, I never did the shifter cars. I left that to the
third place. Nathan Lewis is off the track, John.
Oh,
Nathan
wow.
Lewis with a spin. Zegers is up to third. Clenard with a chance to get a podium now all of a sudden. Oh, boy, Nathan made a huge mistake there. Overbay gets around him. We're on the replay. Ooh, look. Yep, the grass caught him, John. He was moving over all the way to the left like we had seen Holland, and we observed before. He caught the left with it caught the grass with the left rear. It sends him around, dumps him all the way back to P5.
Wow, that fescue bit him.
It certainly did. But Zegers chomping down on the bit now. Clenard looking to make a move. He goes to the outside. Oh boy, the podium still at stake. Padovani and Holland run away from it. But Zegers and Clenard got a great one going here.
If Rod can back out this hairpin corner and get him on the uphill, we may have a battle here going down the back stretch.
This might.
Well, it looks like Rod maybe backed out a little bit too much. I tell you, Zegers has not made a mistake outside of his connection.
Yeah. Boy, it's going off on him again.
Put another quarter in it, Daniel. You got to have it last for 3 more minutes.
You've got to get the rinse cycle in, man. Come on. Really impressed by both these guys. They've ever since the pit stop, John, Zegers, Clenard have really just been at each other's throat.
I think they've been at each other's throat the entire race. We saw Daniel lose a little bit on pit road, but obviously he came back past Rod, and now Rod's breathing down his neck.
I love it. I love that the podium here is at stake with only just over 2.5 minutes to go. I think they're going to have 3 to go when they come to the line if my estimates are right here. In fact, Holland coming to the start-finish line again. It will be 3 to go with 2.5 minutes left. But we should stick with this battle because this really is the one of consequence at the moment. We've got Montini and Delp battling back there a lap down, but man, Zegers, Clenard, keep this thing going.
Ooh, Clenard throws it in there hard and catches, makes serious ground, Sean. He's got the slipstream now. Let's see what he can do going into 1. Got a lap car on the outside there. Oh, and Zegers brakes hard into 1. It screws Clenard up.
You're going to have Brett Thurman in front of him, John. They're definitely going to catch him before this race is over. Zegers was getting ready to go for Mr. Toad's wild ride there, watching that car roll. I love the body roll on these Formula 3s. It's so cool to watch. Clenard going to start to run out of chances here pretty quick, isn't he, John?
He got the popsicle sticks now this time by. Oh, and he's trying to break the draft. Zegers, that is. He's got to be careful because he's going to start affecting his driving ability, and it may cause Rod to catch up on him. Got a lap car there in front of him. Going through 1. Each one handles fine. You got a car on the inside, so kind of slowing down there.
We're going to stay with that battle because we really think Clenard's got a chance. But David Holland, John.
He's getting ready to take the white flag.
Yeah, he is. And boy, getting through Goddards and Roberts there. And Holland going to come across the line. He's going to take the white flag with 30 seconds to go. The Texan still on his horse. Hasn't fallen off it since last season.
Padovani's doing an excellent job executing tonight, keeping it in second.
You said the word right there, executing. That's exactly what he's done tonight. The mistakes that haunted him last season, not tonight. Jefferson really on point.
Last lap, Sean. Tell everyone in the house, Zegers, get off the internet. You need this bandwidth.
Yes,
oh, he gets a tire off. That caused Rod to catch up big time there, Sean.
Yeah, Boy, we got to go to Holland real quick because he's coming around. Got a little traffic there. He's going to get by it. David Blackwood backs off. Holland through the final chicane, down the front stretch. Tonight in Donington, it's David Holland all the way from Texas. He gets the win. Back to Ziggers and Clenard. Ziggers has got about a half a second on him. Padovani's going to roll through. Here in just a moment, he's going to lock down P2. Ziggers looks to have the speed and the gap. One last stab at it by Clenard. Not going to be enough. Daniel Ziggers is going to take the podium. Clenard is just going to miss it there in fourth, but a great run by both drivers. Nathan Lewis, hard luck for the New York driver. He's going to wind up P5. He had P3, spun it, got a little bit of grass there, and he'll finish P5. Santana, Cristelli, all going to cross 6, 7. Lyndon Swaby recovers. Yes, Lyndon recovers from trouble. He'll finish 8th. Abner Acosta, he's going to get to 9th. And Wong Taylor, John, going to finish P10 on the lead lap this evening. What a race here in Donington, folks. But that being said, we're going to take a quick break, catch our breath, come back with the results, and get some interviews in. We'll see you in just a moment here on the Global SimRacing Channel and the iRacing Esports Network.
40 of the best sim racers, $100,000 on the line. Who will rise to the challenge? This is the most competitive and sought-after season in iRacing World Championship history. This is where legends are made. This is the Porsche Esports Super Cup.
And we're back here on the Global SimRacing Channel, the iRacing Esports Network, with the Premier Racing League Formula 3 Series, sponsored by Trade Ninja. Now, John, let's get through these results real quick. It was a great race, and, well, it sees David Holland win another one, sir. And congratulations to David. Jefferson Padovani going to finish second tonight, and it was a great run by Glitter Pants. Congratulations to him. Daniel Ziggers, what a drive, man. He'll get the P3. Rob Clenard going to fall just short there in P4. Nathan Lewis. I said Rod. I thought I did. Nathan Lewis in 5th. Kevin Santana 6th. David Cristelli 7th. Lyndon Swaby 8th. 9th going to go to Abner Costa. And Wong Taylor will round out your top 10, John.
In 11th, we have Owen McLaughlin. 12th, Kyle Strachars. Christopher Richards in 13th. Brett Thurman in 14th. Hugo Galaz in 15th. Michael Overbay having a tough evening, bringing it home in 16th. Tyler Gore in 17th. Matthew Gunderson in 18th. 19th, Francisco Montini in 20th. Nicholas Delp.
All right, John, and we'll go back here to 21st. It's going to be Jose Malbrin. David Airbear with the 22nd place run tonight. Sean Duhamel will finish 23rd. Charles Sumner, 24th. 25th, going to go to Raymond Day. Jay Steffi, who we saw off earlier, he'll finish 26. 27 go to Donald Olson. David Blackwood, 28. 29th for Daniel Barnett. And Andy Spicer are going to round out the top 30. I'll take these last four. Armando Edwards with a 31st place finish. Andres Espinoza, tough run for him tonight, 32nd. Aaron Webb, 33rd. And Sebastian Maciera, John, unfortunately, just didn't get it going tonight. He'll finish 34th. And with that being said, it's time for me to talk to David Holland, our winner tonight. And David, you picked up right where you left off last season. How you feeling? A little hot, a little sweaty, maybe?
Oh, yeah, definitely hot and sweaty. How's it going, guys? That was a lot of fun and good start to the season. The start of this race was interesting, though, I'll tell you that.
It really was, David. Talk about that for just a second.
Well, here I am sharing clutch mappings, pedal mappings, trying to help the team out with their starts, and then I go and light them up off the line. I was doing everything I could to gather it back up, but I probably caused some chaos.
Yeah, well, you know what? You weren't alone. We saw a bunch of cars, certainly much more towards the back of the field, that did exactly the same thing, lit them up, and really, really made it a challenge back there for a lot of guys. But what was the key to winning this thing for you tonight?
After the start, I just kind of settled in a little bit, let the tires come up to temp. This new tire model, you gotta give it some time. And then had a good battle there with Padovani, and I think it was Abner Acosta, if I remember correctly. But I think he ended up having a little bit of trouble. But yeah, had a nice little battle with him, and then once I got past him, just kind of settled in and just tried to be as consistent as I could be.
Yeah, and you were a rock of consistency this evening. You talked about the new tire model, so let me ask you about that real quick. The new tire model. What was the biggest difference you noticed throughout this race about that tire model?
I like the tire model. It's got its issues. It seems like it's a little bit too sensitive on temperature. And there's a certain point where it reaches a temperature and it'll start, really kind of having this yawing motion, just a lot of sliding action. Just trying to really be smooth with it and not push the tires at all is definitely a bit of a challenge, and I think it's going to be fun throughout the season.
I think so too, David. Hey, congratulations to you, buddy. We're going to let you go and get on to the next interview, but we will see you next week. And again, congratulations. Go celebrate and cool off, man, because it's always hot in Texas, and I'm sure you're probably in need of some air, maybe even a respirator right now. So go.
Congrats to Padovani and Zagers there on the podium. Thanks to Vantage Esports, the whole team. Thanks to NinjaTrader, PRL, and you guys here at GSRC. Appreciate it.
John, I'm going to hand you over to Glitter Pants, and I'm going to say goodnight to everyone, but I'm also going to remind you that as soon as this broadcast is over, stay right here on the iRacing Esports Network, because we've got the Lionheart Retro Series coming up from Michigan International Speedway. John, I'll let you talk to Glitter Pants, and good night.
Hot diggity dog, it's Glitter Pants. Jefferson Padovani coming home second, starting second. Jefferson, you had a launch there on the start, led some laps. Tell us about the start of the race there.
Hello, Joe. Hello, John. Yeah, I'm still trying to learn these new tires. I didn't drove so much this car, and these tires really changed the way that you have to drive. Yeah, tonight David was in another level. He really owned this race, and congratulations to Daniel too. But I think that I was lucky on the beginning, John, because I heard that you can't spin too much the tires on the beginning of the race in this car, and I made a mistake, and I was lucky because I started on second gear on the beginning on the start, and when I realized I jumped to the first, and I don't know. I was lucky there. I made a mistake and I was lucky. After a couple of laps, I realized that David is coming really fast. The nice thing is how easy is to race with him. It's difficult to explain, but I have totally total confidence. His moves are really. You can predict what he's going to do. So I know when he's going to dive or when he's going to defend. So it's easy to race with him. But I was a little bit afraid with Abner on the inside that part, and they both passed me. And well, seems that I pushed too much on the beginning and I lost the tires. But David was really fast today. He deserved this. And but it was very nice on the beginning. The race was really nice because the traffic was intense. A lot of cars. Really fun race.
Yeah, well, it looked amazing on screen. Jefferson, you had a great night as far as executing, getting those consistent laps, coming home in one piece, finishing second. How does that mean for you? And also, how does that mean for the team?
Yeah, this is a very nice accomplishment to the team. I was not expecting this result because I didn't practice too much. This time that today was the second time that I was racing. Michael made an amazing job with the setup. I'm so sorry that JB wasn't here with us. Michael have some issues, but it's only it's still beginning the championship, John. We have a lot of things to happen. A lot of things will happen. We will keep developing the setup of this car. I think that this season must be the one of the best seasons that we have on the PRL because of the balance of the drivers. We have a lot of fast drivers, and these tires, if you push too much on the beginning, you suffer on the end. So the final result, I think it's always be unpredictable because if you save on the beginning, you have on the end, and the race is never decided. It's really fun. It's really fun.
Well, hey, listen, it's always a pleasure to talk to you. It's great watching you on screen. I'm going to leave you with this thought, okay? Rub
Okay.
one out.
Do you let me explain this? I have to explain this because I got so shamed after I said, listen, it's fast. Eric Luke and Mark File, you know that I'm not an English, not an American guy, so I don't know the expressions. Sometimes they teach me these expressions with different meaning. Sometimes I speak things, I will not say nevermore, things that I, they told me to say another thing here, but I will not say this time because I didn't research the thing. That I will not say this. I can tell you before what they told me to say, but I will never tell anymore what Mark and Eric told me to say. They are Jesus Christ. They are clowns. Yeah, and they
Oh,
screwed me on
wow.
this one.
Well, listen, hey, thanks
I
for
am so
coming in,
sorry.
and we'll
Thank
look
you.
forward to talking to you, and we'll see you at the next race.
See you guys. Nice to be here and nice to be with you. See you. Bye bye.
All right, that
Good
was
night.
our second place finisher, Jefferson Padavani, Glitter Pants coming home second. Let's get in with Daniel Zeggers, who had a wonderful evening. He started in P9, came home in third, but I tell you what, he was a man on a mission. And there at the end, we didn't even know if he was going to have internet to stay on the track. He was blinking so much. Daniel, welcome to the booth.
John, thanks for having me. Man, what a race! What a new car with this tire model. Congrats, Mr. Holland and Mr. Padavani, on the win and on second place. What a way to start the season. Interesting at best. Like some of the other guys spoke to, the start was going to be crucial. Managing the tire wear was going to be crucial. As far as the blinking goes, it was all good on my screen. Yeah, I think everybody else around me was fine. So that's concerning, but yeah, I think it went well. The car felt really good. Had a pretty dialed in setup. I knew, kind of like Padavani mentioned, if you run the tires too hard at the start, they're going to go away at the end of the stint, which is really nice. And as Holland said, some of the new tire model, there might be a little oversensitive to temperatures, and then you really kind of get some yaw going. But still, the car feels great. Knowing that, the first 2-3 laps warming up the tires, I pushed a little harder than I needed to on the second, drove it through the grass. But yeah, and then Ron clintered on my back. Clintered. Sorry for the mispronunciation, Ron, but holy cow, those last 5, 6, 7 laps was just try and keep it on the track and really I had to really keep pushing on somewhat worn tires. And yeah, it made for a great time and tons of cars out there, tons of them.
Well, we had the camera on you guys, you and Rod Glenard. You guys had an excellent battle there for the last 7 laps, as you just said. Daniel, I got to applaud you. You did an excellent job tonight of executing, keeping that car in one piece, keeping it on the track, and running consistent laps, lap after lap. So you learned a lot from last season. I think it's evident, and it shows in this race finish. How's this year? I know it's just starting this new season. How does that forecast look for you?
Man, I want to say my goal last year was top 5 in points. I still feel that's attainable. Like you mentioned, last year I just had I felt like I had pretty good pace. I really think I had top 5 pace, but I threw a lot of those races away. So this year, really still trying to keep the pace, but just be smarter about it. Just keep yourself out of bad positions with some lap traffic, and just don't try and put your nose in places and then really sacrifice a lot of time. But so this year, once again, the goal is top 5. Holland, Padavani, Overbay, all those guys are always going to be quick. Teammates, Nick Delp this season. Great dude, great teammate along with Aaron Webb. I think we're going to be really well in the team standings. Unfortunate on how they ended tonight, but we're definitely looking for a team championship. And yeah, like I said, top 5 is the goal. Anything better than that, man, that'd be fantastic for me.
Well, that's a great outlook you have there, Daniel. Listen, we go to Interlagos next week. Hopefully we'll talk to you again. Great run for you this evening. Great run for the team. And it was a pleasure talking with you.
Yeah, thanks, John, and thanks all you do for these races and the GSRC and to the PRL for sponsoring. They've managed something awesome here, and it's great to be a part of it. So thanks again. Hope to see you next week.
Very well. That was your 3rd place finisher, Daniel Zegers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the race for this evening. And what an excitement and a huge, spectacular finish there at the end on this first race of season 16 for the PRL Formula 3 cars. Hey, listen, we'd like to thank our sponsors, NinjaTrader, on board this year, and actually Raymond Day, who started this race, finishing 25th. Unfortunately, had a bad evening, but he did finish the race, and we'd like to thank him and his company. Also, we'd like to thank iRacing, the esports network, for letting us broadcast this out there to you and your loved ones at home. Thanks to the companies that provide the software and hardware for our broadcast listed here on your screen. Additional thanks to June Lalonde, who provides our wonderful music. See the screen for how to get a hold of more of her great work. Thanks to the team today, me, my brother Sean, Joe, and Dougie. If you'd like to find out more about GSRC, including upcoming races, you can find it at globalsimracingchannel.com, or you can check out our social media on Twitter at GSRC Channel, Facebook at Global SimRacing Channel, and Instagram at GSRC_Graham. Next race, round 2 at Interlagos, next week, next Thursday, September 26th, 9 p.m. Eastern. Look at upcoming races for other series listed on your screen. Check out those and mark them down on your calendar. Until next time, race clean, race hard, and we'll see you on the track.